Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. The link's on the right-hand side for anybody who'd like to join. And we're going to talk about Pillage, the unofficial strategy guide, and whatever else anybody else would like to talk about. So, hello, Lady Cat.
Hello.
Two Doors.
More screaming.
Okay. Derpy.
Happy as an ass kisser.
And Magic Mike.
I didn't know that. Hi.
Oh, yeah, you have a special request. And
We'll talk later.
Yep. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Let me see if I have it. I'm going to put this link. I'm just wondering. It's only 30 seconds. You don't live in Melbourne, right?
I used to, but
Okay.
probably about 3 hours away from Melbourne at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, there's a link in the right-hand side. It's only 30 seconds. Now, do things like this happen? I've never seen this happen in the U.S., but it's quite something. It's a 2-year-old clip. I just saw it today for the first time. But get back to me if you've had anything like that happen to you. But let's go to the calendar, I guess, because there's nothing. Yeah, this is the. It seems like Kixeye has been listening to Derpy's investigative reporting that there is an extra week in July, and we've got To Be Canadian and a CM diary and a monthly check-in added in there. So there is an extra month, and so we are expecting an extra FM in the cycle, I would assume, based on what we know. So, but next week is the raid. And then, same stuff, FM, VXP, the July contest, which is going to be a movie poster, and Lady Cat recommends GIMPs.
GIMP.
GIMP, okay, GIMP. The sort of photoshopping free program, and because we're going to be asked to create movie posters, and the never-ending saga of the Saw Factory. And
It's because it's past tense. It's Saw's past tense, so it's like just not coming in the present.
yes.
When it gets there, is it finally going to be C's Factory?
I think so.
Yeah. So, and then Bounty 34, and then whatever's whatever's going to happen on during the 1031 update. So we'll see. And there's another click, but this needs to be updated because there's a missing couple of weeks associated with this calendar. So I don't even know if it's worth talking about at this point in time.
That's when the game mysteriously fixes itself.
Yeah. Maybe we're going to take a week off and fix some pre-existing issues.
I saw a post on forums telling them to do that. Take a month off, fix everything, stop releasing new content.
And the only trouble is it's 6 months worth of work.
When they finish those bugs, they'll have another year worth of bugs to fix too.
So, okay. Well, let's move on. We got BP next week.
Oh, animations.
Yeah. Somehow I ended up with 7 out of 2 one-day build tokens. So.
Oh, I wonder how that happened.
Yeah. So we have the raid coming up next week with the Holdfast, with Pieces of 8 and Strike from Down Under. Is Strike from Down Under a lurker campaign?
I search what I'm sure it is.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I think they're both PvP. And then,
The pieces of 8, I believe, is actually silverfish,
oh, is it?
which I have no idea why they're offering that.
I don't know. It could be part of the catch-up thing, but I don't.
But you already have free silverfish completely.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Do not know.
Built
Maybe
up stuff.
upgrade tokens. So there's going to be 2 new skirmish S targets in the raid for your mutineers, a new skirmish X target, and a new assault X target. So I guess that's going to be for your zealots. So I guess we're going to see a similar pairing partnership between these two that we saw before, and plus X1 upgrades for the mutineer. I think there should be like a semicolon here.
That's what I said.
Yeah, and the new garrison mortar hall. I'm pretty sure it's not X1 upgrades for the new garrison mortar hall. That seems a little quick. Considering it's supposed to last for a year. Yeah. Benner's is for the upgrade tokens because these people aren't getting upgraded ships. So, and that's about it that I see in BP next week. So, should we talk about how people feel about Pillage at this point in time, or should we move on to the Holdfast strategy guide?
Well, I'm just reading the line from the BP next week. It looks like we had that special Punisher target that was in the X tier. We have a Zealot one now, which I guess they're continuing to do.
Yeah, I guess you got knocked off there for a while when I was okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, okay. If there's no more on that, but does people want to talk about their experiences with Pillage, or should we talk about the raid preview? Okay. If nobody has a care, we'll go to the raid preview because I have slides for that. All right. We got a relatively early strategy guide for the Zealots last time, and we had a bit of, I thought, constructive criticism. The ranges were, the big thing were the ranges were not consistent relative to what the players' ranges were, and I think that was the major criticism. And so what they did with the most recent strategy guide was, as opposed to providing more detail, they provided less. And so Derpy was kind enough to take a look at some of the targets and put a post on the forums and provide more detail, some of the detail that we're looking for. So this is not the official release, and it's not actually Derpy's official release. He was too wordy for the slides in some of them, so I had to condense. So, so right now we have the big, I don't know what you would call it, but the big change that we've seen this sort of thing before, but our ships have the ability to steal ammo from these ammo carriers that allow them to fire this special weapon that does much more damage than our normal weapon. And so this is in there. It's not a target it's not a part of the target that's going to hurt you, because it only has a range of 45. And I guess you said it's concussive, so therefore it's torpedoes.
It's a Gatling gun.
Oh, it's a Gatling gun. Okay. Yeah, I never got that close to it. So, Okay. And potentially dumbfire, but yeah, it doesn't matter. And countermeasures don't work against Gatling guns. So, but I could think after we're done, we could probably talk about strategy after we've talked about all of them. So, anybody have anything besides that on the G42? Okay. Let's move on then. All right, the T2 Typhoon. All right, it deploys drones that are equipped with a built-in rocket that after the Typhoon takes 5% damage, around 5% damage, and continues to take damage while the drones are on the map. And these drones have a range of around 60. They do explosive damage. We assume they're dumbfire and they do splash, and they're not counterable. The Apex Predator put out a fairly informative video when he was hitting the targets that we saw the first 24 hours of Pillage, and I thought it was pretty important when these drones launch. They can be fired upon, and your weapons, your Freedom Fist, will fire at them and splash the Typhoon. And he was taking out the ships by splashing out the drones. And at the distance, as we skip down to torpedoes, they have the same range as your ship does, so you can therefore avoid torpedo damage and basically kill the ships without, you need to do the first 5%, which you can do with your special weapon, but you can avoid the torpedo damage.
I see what you're saying. That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit the thing, wait for drones to spawn, move from 93 range to 100 range, and just kill the drones with splash while the torpedoes can't fire at me.
Yes, yeah. And when he was doing that, the hazard mortars, he seemed to be inside of the at least in these preview targets, he was inside the range of the hazard mortars while this was happening. So he wasn't taking any damage.
And were the drones? The drones weren't firing then either, because you can outrange those.
Yeah. His ships were completely built and at U3, so he was getting 25 minutes of damage for hitting the target, the one with the Typhoons in them. So if this mechanic stays in place, it does bring in some questions as far as your build, even though I forget which one. What is one of the specials? It adds a good amount of splash. But it does bring into question if this mechanic stays up as far as how you deal with countermeasures. Do you just want to be, as many weapons as you can put on there, because you might not need to deal with the torpedoes, at least in this target. And we'll see as far as how it might impact the auto target. Because these are only in the driving target, the T2 Typhoon. So, any more thoughts on this? On something else I should hit? I'm assuming people's seen the hazard mortars. They can't be countered. They seem to fire fucking randomly, like the Cheetos or whatever, the cheese puffs or whatever. Cheese balls, I'm sorry. So I don't particularly like the hazard mortars because you can't tell where they're coming from or how to dodge them, but yeah.
And they hurt too.
Yeah, they do a significant amount of damage.
Well, I was having a look at those cormorants, and I don't reckon they were doing a hell of a lot to the torpedoes in any case. I finished up having two 2 on each ship.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had 10, and over half the torpedoes were getting through. So yeah, they didn't seem to be shooting down very much at all.
Well, if you have the torpedoes have 60% accuracy, so even if you have 10 million, 40% of the torpedoes will still get through.
So how many cormorants do you think we need?
20 million?
Let me-
I think that's what Derpy said. 20 million.
Yeah, 20
No,
million. Yeah.
no.
Well, if we go through the video, it appears that they fire around 8 at a time with a fairly high reload. Is it 8?
Yeah, well, they come at you pretty quick, and well, as I said, the cormorants didn't seem to be stopping a hell of a lot of stuff. So even with the hydro nozzle that was actually given a little bit of a buff to the countermeasures.
Yeah, I was. There used to be like a discount store that was about half a mile from my house, and it was sort of like a dollar store. And I was so surprised to look behind the counter. If you went through register 1, they had a 12-pack of condoms for $1. And I'm thinking putting the cormorant on there may not be 100% effective, but do you want to go 12 condoms for $1 or just go bareback? What do you think, KB? Two Doors wants to get on this.
Question: what the fuck?
And if this countermeasure is 60% accurate, it means 40% of those condoms have a hole poked in the tip, which will help the baby bottle industry.
Yeah. So
It's all a conspiracy.
yeah. I see you shared your screen there, Derpy. Is there something we need to jump to?
Yes, I haven't edited any of this stuff, but this is what I did testing the cormorants,
Okay.
trying to see how many actually work. So at this point, I've selected the ammo ship, so all the projectiles are going towards that. And I've got 4 cormorants on these 3 ships right here.
Okay.
And if you watch, it appears that 4 cormorants are shooting at least once. I have to kill the drones here first. They're shooting at least once against all the torpedoes. So right here, it's really hard to tell, but I think 4 are shooting one time at every single one of these torpedoes. Because I'm not sure, but even if you shoot at a torpedo and it disappears, or if you shoot at a torpedo, it might miss, which is the hard thing.
Yeah, there ain't too many of them disappearing, though, is there?
It's because it's not super accurate.
Yeah. Well, because visually, you might be shooting down. Well, you only have 3, right?
On those 3 ships, I have 4 different cormorants.
Oh, 4. Okay, 4. Okay.
And once I kill this and skip to the next one, here's testing 3 cormorants against the ship also.
Okay.
So 3 cormorants. It looks like 3 is getting overwhelmed. Just about.
Yeah, because you'd have to look at the initial, and you do have the special on
all the volleys. I think 3. Yeah, I have the range boosting special.
Okay.
I think 3 is just barely not enough. I also tested 2.
Okay.
And 2 gets if I can pause right here. 2 gets completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, I did see. Yeah, I am seeing some of them disappear. It's hard to tell at full speed, but occasionally you see some of them disappear.
I'll see if I can edit this down later when I get some free time, maybe tomorrow, and see if I can tell if 4 is enough. because at this point, I plan on going. I have 6 equipped on my ship, so I'm probably going to stay like that unless
Okay,
I
well,
have extra.
pause once you have everything in the water. Like right now, 4 can never be enough, right? Look how many are coming. Yeah, but look how many are coming.
Okay, we can. Okay, I'm gonna try and count the volleys.
What is the reload on the comrade?
Bet 6.
6 divided by 4 because of the rank, so 1.5 seconds.
Okay.
And this ship's gonna fire.
He's probably nearly at max reload.
About 10.
Okay, yeah, 1.5 seconds. It appears to be at least 10. So it seems that it's always hard to tell as far as the effectiveness of the countermeasure versus how much faster you're going to be killing them. But the whole other thing is, I wonder if at some point you're accidentally going to show, because you're not even aiming at the Tempest, but it's already taken some damage.
Right here, yeah, that's correct.
Well, I'm just thinking it might be associated with you killing drones, but I don't know.
No,
Okay.
I didn't test that stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm gonna have to watch this back, but I think that 4 is shooting down pretty much everything.
I don't know why you explain why you think it's shooting down everything.
Yeah,
So-
visually it doesn't appear.
Or
that
it's
way.
shooting at everything.
yeah, they might be
because they-
shooting at them, but they're not. They're certainly not slowing them down.
But
You know, if
increasing.
they are really effective, you probably only see like where the screen is at the moment. You might have 3 or 4 getting through, but there's a lot more than 3 or 4 coming right through to the hulls.
Well, your countermeasures are only 60% accurate. So if they shoot 10 at you, 4 are going to get through on
Yeah,
average.
but you got
no
a
matter
5
what.
shot on the. You got 5 shots on each cormorant.
No, you don't. You have 1.
Yeah, it's Savo. So
I'm planning on going with the 6 I have on right now. Maybe going down to as little as 4. But
okay. It's hard to tell at this point. I mean, as far as because like the video I saw, as far as a fully built ship, their torpedoes were only getting involved in the initial point to create that that initial burst of damage that caused the drones to launch. So, whether that mechanic stays around, be one thing, but. And the importance of these. Okay. What are we seeing here? We've seen you've paused it.
I'm just
The
about
white
done
lines
with what I'm-
counters.
those white lines are my shots.
They're the gap.
Okay.
So there's very small gray lines that go between my hole and the torpedo very quickly, which I don't know if you can even see on YouTube. But what I'm interested right here is you're going to watch my ships move away. If my anti-torpedoes keep firing as I move away, that means that last salvo was overwhelmed. I needed more time to reload. So right here, those last torpedoes don't get shot at because I've already shot at them.
I'm not sure. Is anybody else seeing these lines? I'm not seeing them personally.
I can't see them. The graphics of the water, the graphics of it just isn't defined enough. It's really hard to see even when I'm playing the game myself.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So.
Okay, well, I'll see if I can zoom in on this stuff later and slow it down and whatever else. But I'm about done with sharing here.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll switch back over to Lady Cat. All right. We've gone through the T2 Typhoon. Yeah. I don't know. The hazard mortars is, it's not a welcome introduction, at least in my mind. But I would take a look at Apex Predator's video in regards to at least the technique that he was using to almost completely avoid the torpedoes. So, all right, let's move on.
Yeah, well, interestingly, in the 118 at least, all the damage I took was concussive. There was no explosive whatsoever.
Yes. Which is interesting, because it's still because you were killing the drones right away. Because on the Wednesday show, Jerpy was hitting them, and hold on one second.
He'll probably come back before I get done, but I did just a tad bit of testing today just to see how badly in the Pillage those rockets hurt. What are they, Storm, whatever they are? It's like every hit's like 2 minutes, just FYI.
The big missiles?
Yeah, the ones that are like 15 seconds or so apart.
Are we on the Pillage right now?
Well, I just tried to fill a little dead air, that's all.
Okay.
I did a little bit of testing. I was curious how bad those missiles hurt. And they gave me 2 minutes and 5 seconds a hit. Just FYI, that's what they cost you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
Right.
In the the driving targets, we expect to see the T2 Tempest and the Surgeon SG-8 battlecruiser, along with the ammo carriers. These only heal the Typhoons. They don't heal any of the other ships. And as soon as you encounter them, they try to sneak away. They don't have any weapons that we can tell of, and but they heal at such a rate. It's not a transfer of health. It's just a straight up healing that it makes it almost impossible to kill the Typhoon without killing these prior. So this should be probably your first priority in those targets. And it's
without a doubt.
What?
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's move on. The Skirmish Juggernaut is, from what I can tell, it's basically the T2 Typhoon without the hazard mortars, and it's not healed by the surgeon ships. So this one is basically going to be in the auto targets, and it just makes it a little bit easier. And this is what you were talking about earlier, KB, as far as not taking damage, not taking anything but concussive damage from this target.
No, it wasn't that target I was talking about. It was the other one, the 118.
I believe that the visual, the art wasn't updated yet when we got these. So the Typhoons in the 118 didn't have any of the hazard mortars, which makes them Juggernaut X's.
Ah, right.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's move on to the next one. All right. Don't go into the P clouds. Yeah. The P clouds are bad for you. So that's about it. Is there something that we missed talking about as far as the preview, Derpy, since this is mostly your content?
I guess the strategy wise, it helps to kill that battle cruiser, the surgeon, whatever it is. If you if it starts moving, it's going to move forward. So if you approach it from the direction it's going to move to and hit it with your special weapon Mutineer flagship slow, you'll be able to kill it much more easily.
Okay.
Kill the Typhoons by hitting the drones. That sounds like the way to go. If you drive moderately well and get slightly lucky, you should take only concussive damage. The 118 target, the auto target, should only have concussive damage anyway if they follow the patterns here. And the I wonder if anyone tested a quick pinch or anything like that, because these targets were fairly small. They had like 2 or 3 Typhoons in them. So if you could pinch one of them, that would be really beneficial, right?
Yeah, unless we are able to kill them through splash. So, yeah.
But let's see. Ships. When I was testing, I had between 4 holes, 5 holes if one was refitting or upgrading. The ships 1 and 5 tended to take the most damage from the torpedoes, but ships 2, 3, 4 also had a chance to take torpedo damage also.
Okay.
So going with a purely 100% offensive 2, 3, 4 build doesn't work.
Okay. Wait, say it one more time. Say that one more time. As far as going with purely offensive.
If you go only offensive specials on ships 2, 3, and 4, and don't have any evade, you'll probably be sad.
Okay. Okay. Just wanted to get that out there again. So basically, you're a proponent of pretty much all your specials being the same, and one of those specials being either most likely Guidance Scrambler 3, but I see certain people are also going with Hyper 30 in that spot.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I did also notice that the drones the Typhoon spawn are not automatically targeted. So if you're on auto and you kill the Typhoon as the last drone wave spawns, and you're also in range of the proto ammo ship, your ships will automatically target onto the proto ammo ship, leaving the drones free to hit you till you kill that, which may be an issue if you auto things in a certain way and you have a certain damage composition and get various amounts of criticals. Because these drones don't count as full ships in terms of AI.
Okay, they don't count as full ships. Okay.
Like if you have a ship and there's a drone closer, but still a larger ammo carrier in range, 90 range away, whereas the drone's 30 range away, and shooting at you, your ship will ignore on auto. It will ignore the drone and will hit the ammo carrier.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Especially as it relates to the video that I was talking about earlier, as far as aiming at the drones or using the drones to splash the Tempest. That makes it clear that you need to not be in range of any other full ships or whatever you're calling them in order to accomplish this.
Or you can spam press the 0 key and the down arrow key.
Okay. Alrighty. Anybody else have anything else on the raid preview?
I didn't really get to try it, so.
I was remembering that in this, the 118 didn't matter where you entered from. You always started in the bottom left. And the 119, you can come in from anywhere. That will probably be the same in the raid. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I have a meme I made that you need to show.
Okay, well, you need to put it out there for me to. Okay. All right. I can't read it from this point, so I'm not going to be blamed if there's anything going on here that's inappropriate. So we'll all see it the same. Fancy.
I can't see it.
Fancy AI names. Okay. Well, it's the same one where the guy is, but the girlfriend is looking back, and it's Kick Size Strategy Guy is the guy, useful information is the girl, and then he's looking at fancy AI names as. So, just so you know, fancy AI names is the ships, right?
Yes, the Surgeon G8 512W Alpha Beta Gamma battle cruiser.
Yeah. They've been doing that for.
Is that Elon Musk's next kid?
It's a possibility. There needs to be some more X's and more numbers in there, but yeah, it's a possibility.
As a half a mechanical engineering major, I am working so hard right now.
Alrighty. I guess the next thing is we should probably talk about Pillage. Let's see, like what to get or how we're doing with the targets. Let's Lady Cat. Oh yeah, I still haven't really changed the name because it still says bounty on all of them. 1 second while I change some names. Lady Cat, do you want to 1 second? Do you want to refresh? Whoops. There we go.
Oops.
Okay. If you refresh, we should have slides. Well, let's go to 14 next, and then we can talk more in depth about the build on the flag, and then I've corrected the names on the slides 15 and 16.
Slide.
There we go. Yep, this one. Very good. The only thing I think on this one is this is one of the ships I want to use the Old Glory on because of the additional survival and evade.
Yeah, I mean that 5% evade doesn't mean a whole lot if you already maxed out evade through other means, but
what do you mean by maxed out evade?
How do you max out evade?
well, if you already have a lot of evade, adding 5% doesn't do that much. Like if I have 3 armors on this one that give 10% evade,
Okay.
so your plus 5% goes a lot further than my plus 5%.
Okay.
Because it's not actually plus 5%.
Yeah, because it's diminishing returns. So if you already have 50% evade, and you add on, he's Derpy's adding on the old tier 8 armors that give you 10% evade. It's going to go from 50 to 55 in that instance. So it's whatever the remainder is from 100 as far as how much the increase is going to be. But when you take that tack, you also lose survival. But I think on the 1st and the 5th ship, I would take a look at using some of that armor. That is Derpy's already done. All right. If there's nothing else on the Merciless Mutineer, how are people doing in the targets? And is there anything anybody wants to show or talk about in regards to what to do in any of these targets?
Slow going, but it's going. I still don't like that they changed the Praetorian target on it. I don't think the damage is that much higher. It's just I have to pay more attention. I have to really drive it. I can't just sort of put my waypoints out and let it go.
Yeah. Like I was saying in the pre-show, I don't know how I did it, but the last one I hit, because I was just trying to take damage before the show, I only took 22 minutes on the, I'm sorry, not even 22, but 20 minutes on the 129.
Yeah, I want to know how you did that.
Yeah. I'm curious. I was like, I got the show because I wanted to do the same thing again, so I learned what I was doing right or wrong. The 132, if you have fully developed Punishers, um, that's basically a little over a minute on the flag as far as the damage in the dock is what I'm seeing. And you drive both of these targets with a tank. It's a little bit more difficult in the 129 to drive it tanked, I think. But yeah, you need to have it just out to the edge of the auras you're seeing from the other ships, and you should be okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm stacked. Well, I'm driving stacked as well. You already knew that. I'm driving stacked as well.
I'm getting about an hour and 10 minutes on those darn things, driving stacked.
The 129, Javelog,
on a Praetorian
129
target, it sucks.
Yeah, both combined, it's an hour and a half, or they're both?
No, just the one target.
Well, I'm talking. I'm sorry. I'm talking to. I have the thing up on the screen. I was replying to him. I was just asking if the 129 and 30 are 1.5 hours damage each target for me. That's. I'm assuming that you're. I'm assuming at least on the 132, that's either a build or upgrade level issue. Yeah, I'm assuming that you're at U0, U1 on the Punishers, in the 132 to be getting that kind of number.
If that's a set, I could. The Punisher one, I'm getting just a couple minutes in the dock, but the other one's an hour and 10, hour and 15. It seemed to have gone up, and I was trying to figure out where am I taking all this damn damage.
Because out of curiosity, do you have any missile defense system 3s on your fleet?
Oh yeah, I'm loading the game up here in a second. Yeah, sure.
Okay, Ren told me that there was some turret in there that only could be countered directly by missile defense system 3 and not sprints. So
I think that the biggest portion of the damage that I'm taking is from that very top couple of turrets. I did like I don't know if you know what Mike's style is. I used to go in, hit enough to come out and instant repair, go back in, come back out, do that.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Okay, and I did that on one of these because I wanted to see how much damage was it Storm? What is that missile? I wanted to see how much damage.
Stormbringer.
Yeah, I wanted to see how much damage that actually gave. So if you got hit multiple times, and for me it was like just a tad over 2 minutes a hit, and only on one ship. So I cleared out some so that I could sit there and just take damage from that missile, and then go out and check it from a clean build. So like you'd go into the first part and clear out a couple of clusters, go back in and take about 10-15 minutes damage total. Then I went back in and just waited for that missile to hit me, and it was 2 minutes. And I did that for the whole target, and I was able to do the in and out method for, it probably took 15 minutes or so, just doing that, running back to the base, doing answer repair, coming back out, versus an hour. If you got the time to, or the will to do that kind of crap, I mean, you can pretty much do it for, keep on playing and keep on scoring. Or you wait till the end of the night and just kill off the ship, or you hit it and wait an hour, or you coin it. I guess all those things are possibilities, right? So that's what I just wanted to share how much damage that missile did, because I was thinking it was doing a lot more damage than just 2 minutes. And there's only 2 of them, I think, in the pillage target. Where the 143, I did not check that in the FM, and I know there's 3 of them there, and pretty hard to get away from those shots. But you asked the question, how many? Wait, I don't have any MS3s. I have sprints. Yeah,
there may be some
sprints.
turret there may be some turret that can only be countered with Missile Defense System 3.
I have none. I have Gale. I have a Gale 4, and Sprints are the rest.
I would try. I mean, if you have some tokens, change. I changed one ship that had like 6 weapons, a Sprint, and a Gale. I changed that Sprint and Gale on that one ship to Missile Defense System 3.
Did
So
it help?
you have a single MSDS3?
I
Is
have
that-
two MSD3s on the fleet, and I think it helped.
Yeah, I got 1, 2, 3.
We never actually did get a strategy guide for the Legion style targets from Kickside now, did we? So we
No.
don't really know what can be countered and what can't.
But I think they're different in a different target.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I have 15 total Sprints on my fleet. And 5 Gales. So, I don't know. They're pretty much all built the same. But it was doing, I can do a 127 for like 2 of them. I can do driving and go back to the dock and just instant repair them. That's FM. And it seems to be all right, but the 143 is a problem. And so is the Pillage target. So yeah, it looks like some change will be needed.
Okay. J-Vog, you have... I don't remember the upgrades for the Punishers, but he has 2 at X1 and 3 at U2. Was U3... Because that's an hour and a half.
U3 adds the countermeasure.
On the Punishers, okay.
Oh, on the Punishers? Never mind, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Praetorian. I'm trying to remember what happens at U3. But it seems like you should be in semi-decent shape unless you have... I mean, hopefully you were doing okay in the raids.
U3 gives 60% radio damage and ×3 supercharge.
Okay, so that's a significant damage increase. So that could be the reason behind that. But yeah, because it's seems a little high. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Is there anything else we should be discussing, conversating about?
The prizes in the store, which I was hoping they were going to add tokens, upgrade tokens for mutineers, but I guess they're not going to add anything new.
Have they ever had any of those in the...
Doesn't matter. I can still hope.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Hope is the last thing to go.
Maybe for you.
Yeah, I
Brian's hope for this game left a long time ago.
So if the raid is next week, there won't be an FM.
No.
So we got what we got, and I feel like I'm farther behind in building the raid fleet than I have been in a long, long time.
Well, we only had 3 week out.
Do I feel wrong? Okay. So I should be right to feel that way.
I got 2 of those. I got 2 days of ship build tokens from the contest, and that's even with those, I'll just barely be able to get my last weapons and armors on all my ships. But if you have 1 ship at U2, that sort of offsets the armor survival you get from armors. So if you have enough upgrades to have a ship at U2, you might be able to leave the armor stuff.
I'm glad that they cut the price of the Freedom Fist from 22.5 to 20 flat, because it always just made me twitch that it was one that it was just that little bit more than a set.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 8 out of 10. You needed an extra set and then 1 more target. I think we get used up. I'm still thinking that price should be like cut in half
Yeah,
to just
10,
10
yeah.
because of the way that they've equated pillage prices and raid prices, wherein you remember the last raid where these were 2.25, which was 2 sets and a little bit more. And a raid is typically, even though it was a 6-day event and there's half repair, that's still very difficult. It feels a lot more taxing than a pillage, even though a pillage is on a shorter time span. But yeah, they need. I think they need to cut that price down because it's strange because they're equivocating 3 Freedom Fist Gatling guns, which is 3 out of 40 weapons on your ship get a 20% damage increase, which is 20% times, 0.75, which is 3 out of 40. So it's like what, a 1.5% damage increase across the fleet is worth as much as a whole heckin' flagship. I guess it's the flagship over the mutineer, but generally the buffs are enough that the mutineer is way more. And so when you factor in 3 sets for that, 10 sets for the Freedom Fist, I think people might still be behind on the Praetorians, so there's a set each for those, let's say, and it's a little weird. If you're all cut up, it's a little weird getting some of those now because we're about to have a new garrison fleet, and we're going to focus on that more, and who knows how much better that's going to be. A lot of these things that you're trying to get seem a little expensive or a little weird, and you might not necessarily want to get them. And it's pillage, and then there's a raid. So not only are you hitting, let's call it 15 sets of targets in 4 days, and the FM, and if there's a TLC you wanted to do, you'd also be doing that. There's the raid next week, which is 6 days of hitting the same 2 or 3 targets over and over again until you want to puke. Maybe, I don't know. Just seems that they could cut the grind down on this a lot. Especially because we've already had chances to get the Freedom Fist in the previous raid and in the TLC. Useful though they are, you need so many Freedom Fists that it's just like you need so many Freedom Fists, and I'm glad that their benefit is marginal now. I'm glad it's only 20%. I don't want it to be 85% or whatever that launcher was. I'm just because they're so needed and I just wish they were easier to acquire.
Okay. Makes sense. Turpy, your screen shared again. Is there something you want to share?
Oh, I'm hitting salvages with a missile cruiser X fleet.
Why?
Right?
Is there a learning moment involved with this?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
All right. Okay.
I
just
had a thought on that pillage stuff too. If you look at PvP stuff, it's like if you have 60,000 points, which is not a small number, you could get one trencher, or if there's warhounds in there too, I didn't check. You could get 1 trencher, or you could get 2 plates of armor to go on said trencher. I know which. I think this armor is pretty overpriced as well, and it was in Bounty too.
Yeah. It's all overpriced, but maybe they thought we'd all be sitting home on the 4th of July. So what else would we do but play the game all day?
Yeah, I don't know. So, okay. Has anybody found any secrets in these targets?
The pillage. Apparently, if you go around the right side of the target on the 132, you can sneak through a wall. I haven't tried it.
Okay. Oh, I can see the use for that. I was looking at that because there was the old. There was a target where I could sneak through on the side. I haven't tried that. You want to try it?
I'd have to switch an account, but
why would you need to switch an account?
Because I'm playing on a level 63 account, hitting salvages with cutlass missile
Now
cruiser threes.
Now we understand.
Okay.
Are you taking notes?
I'm just kind of messing around.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
maybe taking notes eventually.
okay. I don't know. Magic Mike, KB, anybody want to? I know how it's done, if it's possible.
I haven't done it.
I know, but I know
No.
how to. I know how to do it.
Not opposed to trying. Which target?
Okay. The 132, the Punisher target.
Okay. Let me see here.
Because I looked at it and I'm like, because you sort of come off this, you sort of spawn off the screen. So,
Okay, hang tight here.
again, I've never tried this, so I don't know if it works.
Well,
But I know how to get it accomplished if it's.
You may also get your ship stuck and just be very sad.
Yeah, you might have to wait for 15 minutes.
oh jeez.
All right. Let me know when you get there. Okay.
I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not there.
We can watch you play Candy Crush.
Yeah, you could. That's my backup.
Yeah.
That's what I do during repair time. Everybody knows that anyway. I think. I hit the wrong button.
I thought you wanted to play War Commander.
No, I'm done with these kind of games. The mindless, don't need to think about anything. Just kind of drag shit around is all I need during repair time. Okay, let's see what's happening. Punisher 2, 132.
At least it wasn't Porn 2 Plus.
No, I don't do any of that crap anymore.
See?
Not the T. He doesn't do free. Just premium. You have to pay for it. Come on, he's classic.
Yeah.
Can't afford it. Okay.
Well, if you stop spending, $14 on 4 beers, maybe you could afford it.
Well, yeah. Well, but I only drink one a day, so it's only okay. Never mind. All right. So I'm sitting underneath the 132 here, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to add you to the stream. Okay, and I'm going to go to full screen with this.
Yep.
Okay, when you go into the one, okay. Before you do it, I'm gonna give the steps. So don't do it until I finish the step.
Okay.
You're gonna want to go into the 132, and as you're loading, you're gonna want to hit the down button.
Okay.
Like
And
repeatedly or just once?
You never know. Just repeatedly. I'm assuming this is going to work. If this is actually a possibility, I have not done this, but I'm just guessing based on past targets. Keep on hitting the down button, and that will stop your ships.
Oh
where
yeah.
they are.
Mhm.
And then you're going to want to allow us to enter, and you're going to want to click on the water way above that wall that is poking out that goes, sort of 45 degrees from right to left, and basically aim your ships at that point. And that's my guess is how this would be accomplished.
Is this time limited kind of a thing? So once you get in it, you only got a certain amount of time to get it done, or just can we look at it once I get in and get everything stopped?
Yeah. But you want to, as you're entering, you want to keep on clicking. Every half second or so, just keep on clicking on the down button. Okay, yeah, click join, and then down button. Okay, so you're off the map.
Or
No,
Okay.
don't. Let's go.
No.
oh,
No, scroll over. Okay, scroll over. See where it says. Okay, no, higher up. Okay, there. Okay, there. Aim there.
right where I'm at.
Yeah. Aim there.
Does that mean click?
Yeah, click.
Okay, so select them all and aim there.
Well,
okay.
they're already selected.
Well, I just made sure.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Now
What we have in this target, we have some arrows moving across on the right side of the screen. The rate at which the angle is changing appears to be staying fairly constant, although I can presume it is changing as you do get closer to the eventual destination.
All
Looks
right.
like it's going to go there. Now what?
Yeah. See, now you can kill the rest of this stuff.
Oh, they're wiggling. Wiggly ships. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Okay.
Wiggle.
See,
are you
now you
doing?
can now you can kill this stuff from behind, if you wanted to, because normally once you enter the target and you hadn't been hitting the down button, you wouldn't be able to do that. If that makes sense. So now you can hit the stuff from the back, so some of it wouldn't be firing at you prior to that. So I am going to be using this because I was looking at the way we entered that target and I was like, yeah, I think we could do that.
I'm just
gonna have to
wondering
draw
how
your
is that
attention to
saving
the-
me?
What?
I'm gonna have to draw your attention to the exploiting bugs clause of the terms of service.
No, but they keep on doing this, so it's not even exploiting a bug. It's sort of like,
You
where's
can't go back, so yeah, okay. So I have to just wait and come back in.
Yeah. So you
You
can
can
kill
probably
all that part.
retreat.
Okay, so you can kill all this stuff up in here and then go into
Yeah.
see how much time.
So then it's not firing at you from while you're encountering other stuff.
Okay.
So you might get your, considering this target is, we're only hitting it for a minute or two of damage, but this seems right up your alley. Because right now you can instant repair in the water, right?
That's what I want to see. Nope. I took 10 minutes damage almost. 9 minutes and 25 seconds.
Okay. Got to get better at that.
Bookmark it.
Something wrong.
Yeah.
Why? Nobody's going to touch it. But actually, I'll just go in and do the rest of it.
Yeah.
And you can watch or not. It's up to you. I'll stay on the screen share.
Okay.
I'll show you how I normally do it. If I normally stack them up. That didn't work right.
Okay. So.
Why didn't that work? Yeah, it worked. Okay.
But it is possible to sneak behind that wall. And I always, I always wondered. I hadn't tried it because I was, again, it was only a minute or two of total repair.
I used to go up and get these too, but I found it didn't matter so much.
Yeah, because if you click on a certain spot up there, it takes you off the map and you can kill everything. So, yeah.
What? My shift click isn't working quite right. I know it sounds like a convenient excuse, but it's not working.
You tried turning it off and on again?
Shift click.
Oh, is that something you can?
The waypoints, I'm sorry, are not quite working for me. I don't know why that is. Let's try again. Man, that was working. Stacked up though. Son of a. That's why I don't do videos.
Okay.
It took me a week to do a damn video.
Yep. So, all right. We've been going for over an hour. Is there anything else we should be discussing? Because I'm thinking you're going to take more damage based on this, how this is
Oh
going.
yeah, this is going to be by far one of the worst ones I've had.
Yeah.
Well, do we have a final mutineer build? Do we have a consensus?
That would be nice.
I think. Well, let me see. Do I have a slide? I don't think I made a slide.
No.
Yeah, I don't have a slide on the mutineer build. But
Half hour.
what?
Half hour. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
33 minutes.
Yeah, I think that could
8
be.
minutes in base.
Yeah, because I think I think everybody's on the same path. Um, do you have one up, Derpy, or?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay.
My game's not even open either.
Okay. Well, why don't we go? Why don't we go into Mike's? Why don't we go into Mike's shipyard? Why don't we go to your shipyard, Mike?
Okay,
All
that's what I'm doing right now. Design.
Okay. All right.
That's where I'm at right now. So
Let's scroll over. You have the
Oh.
scroll over the specials. Okay.
I got an impact drive.
The previously the justice system, and then
Then I chose
and
the old glory. I was
Okay.
committed before we started talking about the other one.
Yeah, the signal amplification armor. Okay. Liberty belt. Okay.
And
And then I would
I have
okay,
one
you-
cormorant.
one camera. Okay. And then click on your new specials. All right, let's go to blueprint. Scroll down. All right, okay. The one with the 3 white pieces.
Yeah, that I was thinking that one.
Yeah, full metal casing.
Mm-hmm.
And then click on the other one. Go to research. Scroll down a little bit. There we go. Guidance Scrambler 3. All right. And then I don't know. Drippy, you want to talk about the armors?
Well, if you just want to go for the safe, boring option, you put 2 of the ZX2 armors and 2 of the ZCT2. Put 2 of the. If you want the safe option, is 2 each of the new armors on everything.
That's
Yeah.
probably that's the way I typically go.
The more realistic option is I would put 3 concussive and 1 explosive on, because in these targets we took the only explosive damage was the drones, which you can outrange, and the little hazard mortars, which are only in one of the targets, and you can dodge. So if you still want to go new armor, I think 3 concussive.
So you could go 3 concussive.
Yeah. Or I mean, okay. Everybody, okay. Click on. Okay, don't click on it. Mouse
No,
over. Okay, go back to that. Okay. Okay. No, back to the armor choosing.
Yes,
Okay.
got it.
Click on the one. Just that one. I'm sorry.
Mouse over the concussive new
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, the
The
new
new
one.
concussive. Yeah.
Okay. Where you have 200,000 armor, plus 2 concussive damage, 6,400 concussive survival, and now go straight over to the right to the one that's okay. You have a reduction in concussive survival from 6,400 down to 5,000. You have a reduction in your armor points from 200,000 to 150,000, but you have an additional 10% evade bonus. So this is something that I would. You also do not have the addition of concussive damage with this one, but that 10% evade bonus is quite tempting, especially on your flagship and your back ship, your 5th ship. And we'll have to see how it works in the target. But this is it is an attractive looking option in my mind. And you could,
So
yeah, go ahead.
So my plan is all of them will have one of the new explosive on, just in case I take explosive damage or there's some other explosive thing in the target. Just all of them will have 1 explosive.
Mm-hmm.
Then the 1st and 5th, which tend to be the tanky ones that get hit by torpedoes, I'll put 3 of the old concussive, evade concussive on there. And then the middle 3 ships will put 3 of the new concussive. That's my plan. And then all the specials I'll have what Mike has, except I'm using Reef Rider, because I'm not getting 45,000 points in engine.
Yeah, and I'm more thinking like Reef Rider on 1 and 5, and then I'm sorry, Reef Rider on 2, 3, and 4, and then 1 and 5 get the Old Glory.
Yeah, that could work.
And what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm having
2 or 1?
I have 6 cormorants across my entire fleet right now. I may drop that to 5, may drop that to 4. I'll probably just leave it at 6, to be honest.
So at least 1 per ship if you're doing it that way.
Yeah, I guess I'd just say 1 per ship. And if you want to get really technical about it, the damage would be higher across the fleet if you put 2 cormorants on the ones that are 1 and 5 and 10 weapons on 2 and 3 or whatever.
Because of the Reef Rider bonus. Yeah.
Yeah, the Reef Rider bonus and the armor bonus, and it's a really small change though, so I'm not too bothered.
So this build is fairly safe then, right here.
Yeah, and I would. That's very safe if you go all 5 like that. And I would just change. I wouldn't go too explosive based on what we've seen, but that base will be build will work fantastic in the targets if you go 5 of those. I have no complaints.
Because I like keeping them all the same myself, to be honest, because I can't sort them.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'll be using my new Rum Punch Mutineer skin on them. I did not spend not hit 6 of those targets.
Yeah, see, that helps if you're skinning them up so you know which is which, instead of having to look, say, okay, I got the right one in the right spot and this and that. For me, if they're all the damn same, I won't worry about it.
Click your little skins icon. I want to see if you have the. You don't have the.
No, I have 2. Oh, I only have 2 of 6 shards. No, I don't have it.
Both the Zealot and this one have had a red and black skin. I think that's mine. I think I call it a lifeguard skin or something, but it's the derpy cow skin, the red and black one.
Yeah, two. They added another ship that shoots out the torps, also from their strategy. This only really matters if you're using riots, because the mutineer uses Gatling guns, so this is just to keep the riots out.
I'm a bit confused. So you open your battle pirates, and
my battle pirate.
I'm just saying as an example, not you.
Oh, I thought you were asking.
If you're, it's a joke I'm leading into. So you open Battle Pirates, download it for the first time in 2012. It pops up and says, "Hey, Captain, what should we name you?" So you say, "Oh, I know, 2M Insurance Solutions LLC. That's my name."
Mm-hmm. Well, this person's probably also doing other things with this. It's a YouTube account, so
it's funny. It's not funny if you overanalyze it.
No, not Jake at State Farm.
Yeah, he's wearing khakis, but yeah.
Sounds hideous.
Okay, already. All right. Well, I guess we're probably running to the end of the show, and the link's not that far up in case anybody wants to join the after show. And I guess we'll see you all on Wednesday, if not before. And you all have a pleasant weekend and a good pillage, and wear your masks and wash your hands, and have fun with that.
See you later.
Oh, and happy 4th of July.
Be safe.
Go pour some tea into the harbor.
Yeah, there we go. Later, people.
Bye.